My name is André Arnaud de Calavon. I bet a lot of you already know who I am. I leave this page open for a small moment so you can also take a screenshot to connect with us. And Laze?
Hey, hi guys. My name is Laze Janev. I know this guy that is presenting together with me. I've seen him a couple of times, read a couple of blogs. There, come see, comes up, not so bad. He's the dynamics encyclopedia. Come on, Ander, go. Christian ate all of our time. Oh my God.
Let's see. Okay, well, we did do this presentation 2 times before, but now we had to shorten it, and even more today because of the extended presentation by Christian, but no worries, we will catch up. In fact, what happened during the time is Axapta was born in 1998. I will not show again the installation CD-ROM I still have. It has no use to have it anymore because I don't have any CD-ROM player anymore. But during the years, the product changed a lot from UI, branding, and again branding, and another name change. And also Microsoft brought it to the cloud. And then it was still a bit of just a cloud version of Excel-like application. But now, during the recent years, when Copilot got introduced, also Microsoft thought like we need to add AI capabilities into the ERP product. And that's what we will talk a bit about today and show a bit more. So if you look at what we had until now, today, the application with the main menu at the left side, we had a lot of tiles in the workspaces, and if you just were a system administrator, you had too many workspaces, too many menus, but with security rules, you can trim it. But this is just static information, and Microsoft wants to change that, and that's what Laze will explain here.
Yes, thank you, Andre. So in the previous screen when Andre shared it, that was the old way of Office or Dynamics landscape UI design, where everything was looking in Office side, everything was looking like Outlook. On the left side, you have your menus and you have your buttons and everything. And then now Microsoft is moving towards this, what it's called Immersive Home. Maybe it's a temporary name, at least for now. But what does it mean? It's coming from this project Sophia, which was a project where AI came up and they just gave it a bunch of information and they say to the AI, hey, create me an AI ERP, which is designed by AI with all of the information that you have. So it was this random generated tiles and buttons which you need to take actions on. So you don't have access all the time to everything that you can access, but only to the activities that you actually need to take some action upon them. So if we can see compared to the previous screen, now in the middle we have all of our usually approvals, workflows. On the right side, we can see our agents activity. So all of the agents, what Christian reported, the supplier communication agent, all of that is showing up here. So if you need to follow up on some purchase orders, if you need to follow up on some agent activity with the communication of your suppliers, of your vendors, and you still have access to your workspaces, but only to the workspaces which you actually need to take some activity, that something has happened. If there is no activity, they don't show up. You can still access them from the menu, but they're not shown to your home screen.
And also the workspaces are listed in the order of last used.
Last used, correct. Yep.
Let's continue with more AI in the application. Microsoft added an app sidecar chat with this just an option to interact with some documentation from Microsoft, but also using Copilot Studio, you can extend it. And one option of the extension we will show later. And you can also find a lot of information about what is possible with the Copilot sidecar chat. Also in the application, there is embedded AI, for example, summary information on a lot of screens like customers, vendors, purchase orders, etc. And Microsoft is bringing a lot of agents, and two of them were just already displayed and demoed by Christian in the session before this one. And just separately from the application, there's an option also to interact with Dynamics 365 data, or even the application now with the new MCP server, which we'll also talk about in a few minutes. If you look at the agents available now for different use cases and processes, end-to-end processes, there are certain agents available. We will not demonstrate or explain them today. It's just like showing this is available. And sure, you get also hold of it and try it out to see actually how it can help your business. And it might also give ideas to maybe create some custom agents or some autonomous agents. This was for you, Laze.
I think it's from me, André. Thank you. So what is next coming? Now, when we created this slide, it's like, what is next? Some of these things are already here or nearing down, or private preview, public preview. Some of the you might have already seen. So there is a bank management agent coming for the bank management. There is also a business analysis agent or BPA MCP agent coming. That is something that Microsoft is presenting exactly, I think, this week in Miami at Convergence. We are going to demonstrate that. I'm going to demonstrate that to see how does it look like. And the new MCP server is going to connect to all of these BPA data analytical model and see how we can query the data, create some reports. Very, very cool. And also there is some new AI ERP agent deployment improvement plan. What this means is actually the currently of the agents, especially the ones even Christian that presented, so the first party agents, it's a little bit jumping over the hoops. There are so many things involved. In a big organization, you should involve a lot of organizations like Entra admins or some other PPAC admins just to activate an agent. So there's a lot of activity that needs to happen. That will be streamlined and optimized. There will be a better optimized process of all of the agents, how you can activate. So it's like a wizard driven. And what is actually not now what's next, but is actually here. It's still in preview, but it's the headless business services coming with the new MCP server. So, André, if you go forward.
Yep.
Right. So here, all of the agentic investment that Microsoft is currently working on. Of course, everything is in roadmap is subject to change. Anna knows how those things going. Everything is there's always a big asterisk. But from the previous slides where André showed, there were 5 agents which are publicly available, and everyone can use them even to production. You can see now there is much more, this slide looks much more busy. So more and more activities are growing and are available. They are work in progress to be available to, as agents instead of the normal business activities. So we don't have an exact roadmap for all of this. Some of them are already in private preview. So we have, for example, the finance agents, the counter conciliation agent. I think those are even in private preview and something is in GA. But there are many of these agents coming on the roadmap, and many of them, the goal is just to decouple the logic from the whole holistic ERP to be headless, which is, I think, taking us nicely into our next topic.
Yes, actually, I'm also just wondering with just the recent announcement for rental, if there will be a rental agent added to the slide as well.
Yes, let's see. Next year, maybe.
Yep. You can take this one as well, Lasse.
Right. So what was very it bombed on the world. If you've seen a lot of YouTube videos, probably LinkedIn exploded. It was for quite a while actually in private preview testing it with Jared. It was very cool. So it is Dynamics 365 ERP MCP agent. What is this? MCP is a model context protocol. Is this protocol invented by, it's an open protocol, meaning open source protocol invented by Anthropic, so everyone can use it. What mean is like this cliche of explanation, like it's USB-C for AI, meaning that the AI agents can interact freely through this protocol, independent of which technology they're using. So there is an MCP MCP server created for each dynamic ERP environment if you're on the latest version 10.046. This allows us, as André will demonstrate right after this slide, it allows us how we can interact with the application from chat experience, how you're interacting like with a normal consultant, even experienced consultant person that can navigate to the ERP and do all of the executive actions. It's very simplifying from the previous MCP servers, which were these hard-coded activities of 13 activities. So we moved from 13 different activities possible. Now there are over 600,000 activities that you can execute with these ERP agents. Very, very powerful. Okay, André, I think we should go to the next step.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, there's one slide left, but we will also talk a bit just during the demo about it. Well, there's now just the Dynamics 365 AI ERP application. It can interact just via an MCP server for ERP, just all of the actions, the 600,000 mentioned by Laze, and that can be just connected via Copilot Studio or other agent platforms, maybe Azure AI Foundry. But we will go into a demo of just the latest additions done by Microsoft in the Copilot chat experience, and I will do a small demo of what you can achieve with the MCP server. If you look at the Immersive, the homepage today, the sidecar Copilot can be opened. And one thing that was recently added is a zero prompt experience. Usually you can ask a question and type in your natural language, and with a zero prompt you can already predefine some common topics, and then the user can only just click on, for example, the time entry, and then it will just working on it. And the first time it has an issue, but the second time usually it works. But let's see. But what you can do is then, for example, also for the released products, make a deviation on this one, where if you open the Copilot sidecar starting from this screen, maybe the first question you have, what is the on hand for the current selected product? So there can be an interaction between what is available in FNO on the screens and what you can do in Copilot Studio. It's aware of what form it opened and what record is selected. I'll not demo this one now. Let's go to just quickly show that we have some customers in the application today, where the last demo we did, we created Microsoft Portugal with an MCP server, some calls. If you're interested in the zero prompt experience, it is an additional trigger in the Copilot Studio for finance and operations apps. You can add a trigger and have a condition if it's the EQS product details extended or any other, or just have more conditions. But we will go now to the Dynamics 365 ERP MCP agent. On one of the slides, we showed two links with documentation from Microsoft and also a link to a blog site where I just posted two blogs about MCP server. The new MCP server is working as a separate agent. It's not designed yet for the sidecar chat experiences. Keep that in mind. And you need to have the AI orchestration for the agent enabled, and it works today really well with the Claude Sonnet 4.5 experimental, with just the default, initially default. Then I thought, well, what's happening here? It's not working at all, until I moved it to the Anthropic model from Claude Sonnet 4.5. And what we can do, for example, is just ask a question: can you create a new customer record in the legal entity USMF, customer Microsoft Netherlands? Look up the address and phone number on the internet and use currency for this country, and also customer group will be 20. What is happening under the hood is now visible if you test this agent. That's also why I demonstrated from Copilot Studio. If you do it from any other place, then you have to wait until all this is done and it created the customer. But now what you see is it checks for information. It finds the address on the internet that was requested, the phone number, currency was set, and now he wants to create the customer record. If you look carefully, it will open a kind of invisible client mimicking the UI. It says, I found an all customers menu item. It opens it and then just monitor what it's doing. It's really amazing, mind-blowing that it's possible for just AI to interact with the F&O client even better than a regular user at a client. Just while it's doing, I also tried to ask the system create a user and assign a security role, and that was rejected out by design, which is just also good for security awareness.
So, André, while you're waiting for the agent, maybe I can start in explaining about the BPA agent, and we can switch back, or you think this will finish in a minute?
It will be finished quite soon.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, it tries to find some. It tried to just enter some details, and what you see now also, I did not provide anything about a customer account to use. There's a manual numbering in the system, and he found a pattern that it was using a country with a sequence number. So he thought like, let's create the first Dutch customer in this environment. Now the customer is created. If we refresh the screen, you see now Microsoft Netherlands is added with all of the details asked in the system.
What is also cool here, you can say also find the appropriate customer group for that customer and assign that customer. So you don't have even to specify it. So it will look online, and if it's a store, it will say, is this a wholesale? Is this a small wholesaler or whatever it is? And we'll try to associate even automatically a customer group. So it's, yeah, it's a junior consultant, maybe even more.
Yes, I'll stop sharing, then you can take over, Laze, for your demo.
Thank you, André. I appreciate it. Let's try this now. Let me know when you can see. Can you see my screen or not yet?
Not yet.
No, and remember you have 6 minutes, Laze.
Of course.
Yes.
Always.
Of course.
Always. Thank you,
Never
Anna.
gonna end in
Thank
6
you.
minutes.
It's
but...
always on me, Anna.
Yeah, he has 6, but he will take 16. No worries.
I put my Santa shirt for this occasion, Anna, so that everybody can feel so special. I have the belly, so I say, what the hell? Just join it. So I will present about the BPA MCP server. I have talked so much about BPA. Probably some people are already rolling their eyes. But this is the normal BPA server. So we can see here that we have some transaction. It's a Contoso environment. And we can see that we have some information, for example, for vendor transaction details. There is not a lot of stuff here. There is just one legal entity, hint, who finds it. Tell me, please. There is something hiding here coming up very soon. There's a lot of data, of course, that the BPA is doing. It is synchronizing at the moment with your F&O environment twice in a day. But what we're trying to do is actually, I will not use Copilot Studio intentionally, because what we're presenting on one of the slides is that the MCP servers, they don't have to be. They can be connected to Copilot Studio, but you don't have to use them. I will use Visual Studio Code. I mean, that's a little bit geeky for the ones that are not done with development, but it's nothing geeky here actually in this. So if I put this, I can see what are my Ctrl-Shift-P. I'll see all of my MCP servers. This is my MCP server connected to this environment, and I can show it to you here that I have connected to exactly that environment, and it has some other stuff. And as André, I will use Claude Sonnet. Now, what I can do, I can ask it. Oh God damn it! I can ask, for example, I have some pre-prepared questions, don't mind me. So I can ask, for example, what ERP analytics tables do I have access to? Maybe I can zoom in a little bit if this is too small. Is it better now? Yeah. So it will ask, what ERP analytics table do I have access to? The agent will go through the whole BPA analytical model, and it will go through it and find all of the information that is there and try to present it in a readable, human-readable format, right? So it says, oh, I will run to get the data schema for the business performance analytics BPA dataset, and it presents this in a very nice way. So it presents you with all of the dimension tables, what are all of the fact tables, you have your general ledgers, purchase orders, normal stuff, nothing cool here. But what I can say is, what if you show me my top performing vendors by cost and reliability? Now it has to do something more complex, right? It cannot just go and see what is the data set. It needs to realize what exactly data it needs to create some kind of a query and list that data after from the results listed for the users. Now, the worst case, I work a lot with Power BI developers, Fabric developers, and these are usually people that have a lot of SQL skills, so they're amazing in SQL. What is most hated information there is usually what they hated the most is usually how to query the data. But we will see in Power BI. I mean, now we will see how this agent is interacting with that. Oh my God, the AI demo phones. Now something is happening. I don't know what, but usually this lasts like 5 seconds. Let me see how this is going. It should have finished until now. If not, I will try to start another instance here very quickly. It's usually, I promise you, it doesn't take so much. It's the first time. Let me try again. Let's see how it goes. But what it tries to create is, right, I am connected. Okay, I don't know what. Let me stop and restart this session. I'm sorry about that. I blame Christian. That's it. There's no other explanation, I think. I'm just joking, Christian, of course, if you're still here. So I'll try again. I need to know where is the vendor data. So it does not recognize the server. I don't know why. Let's try this. Let's try to reconnect, list my servers. It is running. Let's try to restart the server. Okay, tries to restart it. Let me try to do this. Okay, this always works, promise. Okay, so now it started to work, auto-approved for this profile. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, so I will try now to execute and get some actually real business value data. Excellent. So it started to collect my tables and it's showing me what I need to know. But what if I now start to select and say, show me my top performing vendors by cost and reliability? This is what I wanted to show. So it's trying to create a DAX query. So the worst case in Power BI, usually the hardest thing to do in Power BI is actually to create from all of the logic to create a DAX query. It has a very specific logic, but this MCP server is going and creating automatically the user prompts, is transferring them to a real DAX query, and it's pulling that data. Now, if I want to create something better, I can go and I will just move actually to my last demo because I'm already over time, I think. I will say, show me my top performing in euros. I did not say it here, vendors, but I will say also not only that, but create an interactive HTML report with filters, insert the Microsoft logo in it. After that, create me a PowerPoint presentation with the data for a C-level suite. I have so many typos here with the agenda, chapters, recommendation. So it's not only querying this data, but I'm trying to present the data somewhere. What usually business comes to is they say, hey, these reports, which are, let's say, the PPA reports out of the box from Microsoft, they're okay, but they're not really suitable for me. I want to filter this data. I don't know how to filter this data, but I can explain what I need. So if you explain to the BPA MCP, it will understand you. It will create a specific query for you. It can present you the data. If you're satisfied with it, you need to have better prompts and maybe a couple of interaction. Then it will generate, it will filter all the data, it will present it in a user readable format, and if that is okay, then it can create a full HTML report. If you see here, I said create me this report in euros, because all of the data that we showed here was actually US dollars. It will go online and convert all of those values in euros and then create with these comprehensive reports. Now, it takes a while. It's an asynchronous process, but it's actually not so bad. And while while this is happening, maybe we can go here and see what are our vendor transactions details. Give me a second. So, right, I can go here and see all of my vendors. I can see that everything is in dollars. Whoa. Okay, keep. Did I expand that? Command. It asked me if I should allow it to run the Python command. Now, because I've told it to create this HTML report, oh, it has actually created it already. Now I'm waiting for it to create it. So now it is creating also the PowerPoint presentation using another Python script. So what it usually happens is we missed some of these queries, but it will try to create an activity. For example, if something that you don't have in your report, it will try to create that activity. If it doesn't have a package, for example, it needs some package for it, it will go online, it will get that package, install it for you in a special Python environment, and execute it. Okay, now it is creating the vendor presentation. We can see very named create vendor presentation Python. And now it's starting and it's in opening my HTML presentation. Here it is. So I have all of my vendors, I have all of my filters and times. I can see all of these details with nicely colors. I can see my Microsoft logo here, and also all of the colors on this presentation are very Microsoftly. I don't have a lot of information in this specific environment. That's why it's so much a small scope. But if I try to search for something, for example, it will see that the filter is actually working, because if I search ASME, it is there. But if I try to type something else, it will say that it's unfiltered. Let me now show you the presentation that it created. Okay, this doesn't look very nicely now, but I should create a better prompt. But it did create, and listen to me, it says, these are the executive summaries, this is agenda for this presentation, these are the vendor performance overviews, what are the cost analyses, reliability metrics, what are the risk assessments, what are the recommendations, and also the action plans for the next 30 days, for 6 months, for 1 year, what you should do, what are the conclusions in this presentation, what are the key takeaways, and then it will just say questions. So there's a lot of things happening that you can do with just a simple prompt. My prompt was not very complex. I have to share that. But if you start to prompt and create better filtering information, you will get much better results. This is actually coming, I think by the end of the month, it will go in public preview so everyone can test it in their BPA environments. I know we're over time, so I skipped a lot of stuff.
We do our overtime, but it doesn't matter because it's a delight to listen to you always.